Alright guys, I wanted to make one more quick video here before we get to the funnel because I had a little issue right here. So I have my primaries and my secondaries, and I feel like those look pretty good because they have a good range of values and gray tones and colors in there that are getting adjusted to match the color wheel. But the problem was I got to this logo here that I was using, and if I take away the colors, you can kind of see it's really just mostly black and white with just a little bit of color around the edge. And when I did the color fill, it just doesn't really feel like the color here because when it does the color fill and you set it to be a color layer, it doesn't really have much effect on the white areas or the black areas. It's the areas in between. So I tried a couple different ways to fix that. Here was what I found to work best. I'm going to click on my original image layer. I'm going to add one more adjustment layer there, and this is going to be a levels adjustment. And this is kind of going to be like brightness and contrast. Now this is in between, so this is a third layer here that's going to affect this. And I'm going to take these sliders, and if I start to move those around, you can kind of see the top ones are going to adjust some of that area. Now I'm losing a little bit of the dark detail there when I slide this down, but it definitely helps it feel a little bit more like that color. And I could even take the lower end down here, the output, and if I do that, that brings some of the color into the white. So again, I lose a little bit of detail, but I think overall, if I hit the eyeball here, this to me just it is feeling a little bit more like the color belongs there. Adjust this a little bit more. So I would say give that a try. If you run into an image, first off, if it's just black and white, it's going to have little to no effect. So that's why you need to have an image that does have some value and some tones to work with, and see if you can't just get it to dial in and feel a little bit more like the color. So again, that's a levels adjustment. So the way that I did that, I'll delete that. You've got your color fill layer just like all the other ones. You click your layer that you want to adjust. We'll add a new adjustment layer in between, levels, and it's going to automatically clip because it's in between the two. And I'm just going to play around with these sliders a little bit and see if I can't just kind of bring that into the color a little bit more. So you just kind of play around with it and see what you can come up with and make it feel a little bit more like that color. I don't want to lose too much detail at the expense of the color, but the color is the most important thing. We're doing the color wheel, so that I think works best. I'm going to be a little bit happier with that, and that's going to feel a little bit more like it belongs. So I might go in and dial that a little bit more, but I would repeat that process then to finish up my colors. Now it's just that I have 3 layers to deal with for each one, so I'd select all of those. I would do my duplicate again, go through that same process of rotating it. So move this down, whoops, sorry, it takes 2 clicks. Move this to the center, rotate my image again, get him lined up in the next spot, go in, and I should just be able to change that color and eyedropper color I want. And once you have that first one set up, you should be good to go. But again, with a black and white image, you just might have to go in and add that levels adjustment to help fix that a little bit. So there you go, a little problem I ran into, and my solution to it was to add that levels adjustment in between the color fill and the original image. See if you can't fix that up. All right, good luck.